Japanese idols. An idol is a type of entertainer marketed for image, attractiveness, and personality in Japanese pop culture. Idols are primarily singers with training in other performance skills such as acting, dancing, and modeling. Idols are commercialized through merchandise and endorsements by talent agencies while maintaining a parasocial relationship with a financially loyal consumer fan base. I went to some shows to explore this big aspect of Japanese pop culture, and I was a bit taken aback, to say the least. In hindsight, I knew what to expect: the silly songs, the young girls in big poofy costumes, and the middle aged fans cheering and applauding in unison. Still, I couldn't help but feel a little bit unnerved after a couple hours in this scene. The shows I attended were all for somewhat smaller, slightly amateur idol groups, and yet the fans treated each performance as if they were seeing Lady Gaga perform. The level of dedication some of these fanboys displayed was almost commendable. Some of them set up these incredibly elaborate cameras and recording devices that often surpass professional standards just for their local idol group. Many of these fans also demonstrated their dedication to their idols by memorizing the names of the different girls and the various dances and the timing for certain rhythmic claps. Watching the fans interact with the idols and with one another was almost as interesting as the show itself. Surrounded entirely by other like minded individuals, they don't feel any sense of shame or embarrassment for being men in their late 20s to 50s and blatantly obsessed with these teenage girls. They headbang, they dance and cheer as loudly and strong as they can, and are reassured by the fact that everyone around them kind of shares the same feeling. Seeing this genuine display of camaraderie and passion made me feel like I was intruding, but at the same time, I couldn't help but feel extremely put off. There are different categories of idols in Japan, but one of the most popular ones are the junior idols, whose ages start as young as 13, sometimes 12. The groups I saw performing were all within that age range. That spooked me because I always find it hard to guess the ages of Japanese people. Learning that these girls were as young as I hoped they weren't was a bit disturbing. Although the performance and song and the dances are the furthest thing from being provocative, the whole thing just left a bad taste in my mouth. I think the reason so many of these men find comfort in these idols has something to do with the loneliness problem in Japan. I suppose they use the affection they receive from the idol as a substitute for the affection they would normally get from a partner. And of course, becoming a fan of a more niche group means they're far more likely to be noticed and recognized by these girls. Not to mention, it seems that becoming immersed in idol culture means automatically acquiring a circle of peers whose shared admiration for these idols, naturally bonds them together. Seeing the fans interact with the idols during the meet and greet eventually confirmed in my mind that these men are honestly quite docile. Witnessing these men well into their 50s get flustered by a high five from the 14-year-old girl he'd chosen to worship, I realized the girls are not in any real danger. As dubious as the whole ordeal kind of sounds, the circumstances are, as harmless as they could be. That doesn't mean it's not a bit cringy to watch, but nothing felt overtly sinister. I think it's interesting that the Wikipedia page itself mentions the parasocial aspect of the fans, as I saw a clear cut display of that. At one point, a group of people came to watch and filmed in a section that was off limits for standing, and immediately one fan took it upon himself and to run up to them and frantically let them know they're not allowed to film there. I wonder if he thought he was protecting the girls or something. At the end of the day, this is just another bizarre facet of Japan you just sort of have to accept. Idols and the people who love them will continue to exist regardless of whether or not I think they're odd. Let me know your thoughts about idol culture in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.